It was the theme from Andy Griffith. I thought I wore a different shirt this time. Someone was accusing me of wearing the same shirt over and over again. I don't actually wear that shirt in this video, like out and about. I just put it on and off for the videos because it's kind of a neutral color. I had a couple people accuse me of, like, how often do you shower? I was like, I shower at least once a day, usually twice a day, so. You know, you could accuse me of a lot of stuff, like being fat, bald, and tattooed, obviously, but you're never going to accuse me of being dirty or stinky or something like that, because it's not the case. A lot of people have been saying to me, he said, "Where's your camera and lens reviews lately? Where have they been?" Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but like the whole world's been in lockdown for the past year and a half. These camera companies really have not been spitting out anything. All the top YouTube photography channels have been getting significantly less views because everybody is struggling just to stay alive. Other than working photographers, such as product and corporate and some others, nobody's traveling right now. I don't know if you know this or not, but traveling has a whole lot to do with photography, camera, and lens sales. So everybody's suffering on that front. I'm distinctly aware of that. Anyway, I kind of like lens reviews like this. People wanted me to review this lens. This is the 7artisans. This is the 50mm f0.95. It's 7 elements. It is quite cheap. I think it's $239 or $242. Basically, it's 240 bucks. Yeah, and it really does take a lot to impress me on a 50mm lens review. The best 50mm lens out there that I've ever used is the Voigtlander 50mm f1.2 Nocturne. And wow, I don't know where to begin on this lens. You know, it's well constructed. It's got enormous, horrific levels of flare. It's got bad chromatic aberration, and you want to talk about how sharp it is, and I don't really care about sharpness. I have tons and tons, hundreds of not so sharp lenses, hundreds of them, and some of them are some of the best lenses I've ever used. I don't really care. There's good sharp, good not so sharp, and then there's bad not sharp. This lens is absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's so bad it'll make your mother scream when you use it, just by proxy. It's so abysmally bad. Now, the last 7artisans lens that I reviewed was actually extremely good. I don't have it here on the table. Actually, I think my friend's borrowing that lens right now. God, this lens is it's so bad. It's atrocious. In other words, it's so bad that I kid you not. For 50 bucks, you could buy a Takamar, which is radioactive, by the way. The best lens for the money, the 55mm f2 lens. Now, there is better, but I said the best for the money. You could get one that has haze, mold, or fungus in it. And that lens is sharp, it renders beautifully, you know, you can usually get it for, like I said, 55 bucks. Better than that, of course, would be the 50mm f1.4, which is also radioactive, but not so cheap, not anymore. I mean, it's relatively cheap. You can still find them for 90, 100 bucks. You know, yellowed with radiation, thorium-doped glass. But there are about 100 or 200 lenses that are about 50 bucks or less that are in the 50mm range. Most of them are like 50 bucks. Yeah, 50 bucks or less. It's just so, this lens is just. How did they make this lens? Someone's going to say, you got a bad copy. I actually tested this against another one of these, so no, I didn't get a bad copy. They're all like this. How could you just make a lens this bad? It's atrociously bad. You know, it makes me think that someone bought like 100,000 projector lenses and took out the elements and decided to construct a photography, photographic lens. This lens is all kinds of bad on all front. I give it, since it even ranks, and this is the reason why I give it a 1 out of 10. This lens deserves a 1 out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. It's so bad that if you bought a 55mm f2 Takamar, for example, for 45 bucks, that had haze, mold, or fungus in it, it would still be about 100 times better than this lens. It's atrociously bad. And I've had my hands on a lot of 15mm lens. This is really, really, really bad. It ranks right up there at the top of the bottom. Ranks at the top of the bottom. So, to me, I actually find doing lens reviews like this, I don't know, funny, amusing. I actually was laughing and doing face palms when using this lens. And then I was like, you know, this has to be a bad copy. This lens can't be this bad. But it is that bad. I tested it against another copy. Sorry. My last 7artisans lens was actually really nice. I recommended it, and it's cheap. This lens is all kinds of atrociously bad, so... Sorry. It sucks. It actually really, really sucks. That kind of cringe level where your sphincter pucker is kind of horrible. Yeah, I think I made that abundantly clear. Thanks.